Yeah, so this whole town is just full of cops that want to rape dudes and construction workers that are raping ladies. I don't know what's going on here. I'm Jackie.
One tin soldier destroys a bank. I'm Justin.
If you're going into those hills after thunder, you'll only need one thing. A good supply of bazooka-proof face masks? I'm Sam, and this is 1983's Thunder on Stinker Madness.
Hello, welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I don't know why I do this every week. It's just habit. The people know what the show is, but they tell us.
But what
that
if
you're
they're
supposed
here
to
for the
say.
first time?
Are there any of those people anymore?
There is. There's two right now. There's two first-time listeners. They have no idea that Jackie is going to get obsessed with someone's balls in about 38 minutes.
This is a podcast about Jackie getting obsessed with balls. And I guess I try to make social comments and change the world via the power of film. And Sam says things that are interesting to a very few select group of people.
And really bad jokes that are horrifying to most.
Yeah. So buckle up, Buttercup. This is a podcast. You're supposed to get all excited. Woo! Podcast! I'm on one. I'm listening to it. And I'm going to pee my pants because I'm so giddy about a podcast. They're so rare these days. Nobody has a podcast. But these guys do. I should listen. They must have authority.
And tell two friends. And then they'll tell two friends.
All right.
It's like sniffing the bad milk.
Yeah. Well,
You want other people to sniff it with you.
Hey, are you calling us bad milk?
I've been drinking.
Rotten eggs, maybe, but not bad milk. Okay, let's do this. Thunder, currently streaming on Amazon Prime, starring the guy from 1990 Bronx Warrior and the other Thunder movies, directed by some Italian guy. I'm sure Sam's going to talk to him, and Bo Svensson, which, this is a really odd question, but how many episodes has Bo Svensson appeared on?
This could be his first one or his 30th, because we don't, and every time, like, I barely wrote anything down about Bo Svensson, because I'm like, oh, I'll just be repeating myself about Bo Svensson, or will I?
Do you remember that Bo Svensson movie we watched not a few years ago that had like a chopper in it? Well, duh, this one's got a chopper in it.
This one also has that.
But they're like in the Grand Canyon. Oh, wait, they're in the Grand Canyon in this one. Shit, I don't know. It's like some weekend thing. We gotta find that movie. I gotta go look up some.
Yeah,
you
that
talk
one
about Bo Svensson. I'll find this movie because we're gonna watch it.
We had a helicopter collision.
Yeah. That shit was sweet.
And that was one of the more awesome Bo Svensson movies.
So go ahead, talk about not Bo Svensson.
Well, I'm not really going to talk about Bo Svensson much because the whole reason that I picked this movie was I knew I had to pick a Mark Gregory movie at some point, and I'm like, well, it's going to be Bronx Warriors, but that's generic because everybody knows about Bronx Warriors, and I happened across this. And then I found out that it got made into a trilogy, whereas Bronx Warriors only got 2 movies. And so I was like, oh, I'll watch the first 20 minutes of it and it'll give it a do or don't. And I watched the first 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is going to work. This is just as, it might not be, it's different than Bronx Warriors, but I don't know if it's any better or worse in terms of its entertainment value. No one really knows who this guy is. His real name was Marco Di Gregorio, because he's obviously not an American, nor is he a Native American. He's an Italian man from Rome. He was apparently discovered by Enzo G. Castellari in a gym, and then cast into Bronx Warriors. This is according to, because almost anything that is known about this guy is through an interview with somebody that worked with him at one point, or they're interviewing one of the other characters from a movie that he was in, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy was great, he was a nice enough guy. A little strange. When Williamson was talking about him, this is what, it's hard to really put together what's actually happening here. Allegedly what happens is he's found in the gym. Enzo's like, you're going to be in the picture. And then his girlfriend, I guess, or his fiance, had seen a casting call in the newspapers and was like, you should try out for this or whatever. And then he pranks her and he's like, oh, I did what you said and I got it, but he'd already had it or something like that. That's one side of the story. The other side of the story is that he wouldn't have had a fiance under false pretenses because according to Williamson, he doesn't leave footprints in the snow, which is a very coded way of saying gay.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it is. Or he's got Native American powers, you know, like he's like a Wendigo or something.
I don't know. I think he's just might be a little strange because it's like, I don't know if Williamson had a great beat because I watched the interview that was packaged with the DVD of Bronx Warriors when they released it like 15 or 20 years ago or something like that. And I rewatched it just to make sure that, yes, this is some of the most relevant information on this guy. The insinuation is that Enzo likes the pretty men and that he's a pretty man that likes other pretty men.
Okay.
But there's not really a lot of evidence to support that.
Okay.
Enzo was married. He has in the Bronx Warriors movie, his daughter's in the movie. I mean, you can be gay and have kids. That's fine. Whatever you want to do. It's just like, these are some of the allegations around the existence of this guy that nobody knows anything about. And what we do know is that he had sort of a shotgun blast of gets to star in these action movies. And then there's one of them that's an Adam and Eve Blue Lagoon-esque picture, which is probably the only one where he was cast properly. I mean, like you see him, you're like, yeah, that's probably a good one for you.
Wait,
but
are you saying that Adam was gay?
Looked good in a loincloth.
Oh.
If you're going to do a biblical knockoff of Blue Lagoon, a muscular-ish, sleight of frame, tall lad in a loincloth is going to work out good.
Yeah, sure. I'll say it, though. I think Adam's gay. I think he was light on in his loafers, so I'm fine with that. But, you know, he didn't like his wife very much.
Are you sure Eve didn't have cooties?
She might have had cooties, but, you know, she's hanging out with snakes, sexy snakes, like Britney Spears. Yeah.
Either way, I'm not going to make any accusations about his personal life as things turned out rather poorly for him.
Yeah. Kicked out of Eden. God.
No, I'm talking about Marco.
Original Sin, all that. Yeah.
Marco Gregorio, or Mark Gregory, as the film world would know him. Did one with Svensson and Williamson called Delta Force Commando, which Williamson, I've never seen. One of the reasons is in an interview he said that it's shot so dark you can't see anything, so why bother? This one flirts with that periodically. I also noticed that the focus was hard to attain for several reasons, but he does these 10 pictures in 7 years. And right when he starts to actually make any money, and this is another thing that it could line up a little weird. He's either swindled or after or right at the end of this. So it could be like he's finally getting money for the pictures. He hates doing this. Maybe there are things going on where he's having to like do favors for people that he doesn't really like. And they're not the kind of favors where you like move their fridge into the garage. He's just like, I don't like any of this. I'm out. Goes back. His father was a painter. There's allegations that this guy's a really formally trained wrestler, and I just don't see that. Okay. He walks too funny to be athletic. But I guess Williamson was saying that on Bronx Warriors, if you've ever watched that, his walk is, he walks like a runway model. And so you're like, wrestler? I don't know. But
those hips
apparently
are moving
Williamson's
too much to
like
be doing body slams.
A bunch of them were like teaching him how to do a tough guy walk, and you watch the movie and you're like, this is where you got with him on that? Jesus Christ. That's the best part about Bronx Warriors is watching him walk after you've seen the interviews. If you're just watching it the first time, you're just kind of like, this guy's weird.
When he
and
does
it's not really that funny.
When he does the, you know, what's that, the entrance that wrestlers have, you know, and he's got the elaborate music, you know, and there's explosions coming up and everybody's like, yeah. And he comes out in like this sweet get up with like spikes on. But then he's like, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, sashay and churn. And
yeah, it would have been shittier than anything that Gold Dust did for like 15 years. So
then somebody throws a chair at him, and then he gets the belt against the back.
Gets the belt. Here's the belt.
Yeah, against the back. Get out of here. You can't do big elbows.
Yeah. So either way, he leaves filmmaking, goes to painting allegedly, is swindled at least once, and then kills himself in 2013 with an overdose, an intentional drug overdose in Rome. Dies penniless, and to the point that Rome, the city of Rome, donated a cross for his grave because no one could pay for his burial.
Roma.
Yeah. Enzo is not listed in any of the credits on this film, but was the producer and did actually direct large portions of it.
Okay.
The actual director, Fabrizio Angelis, was one of Enzo's writers, and this was his sort of foray into being a director. This is also happening right around the same time when Italy realized it could kind of stage a mini invasion with its productions, that it was really just Hollywood that was too expensive to shoot in, not really America. And so they would ship in their own groups, a la Troll 2. And so I think this production would have a lot of the same feel, I'm thinking, as the Troll 2 production, and in terms of it's a completely foreign minimalist film crew brought into the US. You have English-speaking actors. There's some European actors that brought some of their own actors, and then language barrier shenanigans, low-budget filmmaking.
Also, probably a very deep misunderstanding of Native American culture and history in the United States.
And then you get to sprinkle in that, like, how the fuck can they blow all this shit up?
They blew a lot of shit up.
These are not things that are, like, easy to blow up. They're not models, and these aren't stolen from other movies. They're blowing up their locations. Well, that's because of the International Highway Act of 1957. So where they're shooting this is along the old Route 66 and its peripherals, which is just tons of abandoned shit.
Right.
So they just come into New Mexico and blow up a bunch of shit.
There you go. Thanks.
And then leave.
Thanks, Ike. You made our town get blown up by Italians.
But there's no one there. It's just abandoned roadside.
Yeah, it is.
The road's not even there anymore.
I mean, I think it's a very efficient use of Italian money. Let's just, let's go into America and actually blow up. Are we going to build the sets? No, we're just going to blow up parts of America. Okay.
Yes.
They let us do that? Yeah. They had this whole sweet road. It went from L.A. all the way to Chicago, and they just walked away from it. They're idiots.
Just got to imagine the townie situation with this, where you've got like your American representative to talk to the townies, and you just go over there and tell them we're all Hollywood big shots, and then when they're talking to the Italian people, they're just like, sure, okay, buddy, yeah, big stuff, good for you. And then you just blow up somebody's shed.
Not sure what accent that was supposed to be, but
it was a Roman trying to use an American accent.
Oh, hey there, buddy.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they've been talking to Bo Svensson, and he's Swedish. That's their only baseline for American accents.
Right.
The guy that is just the huge dickhead, Barry.
Officer Pig, yeah.
Yeah, he's apparently a bigger deal than I thought. He's been in a bunch of Westerns, and he was the main Captain Wolf in the Seawolf deal that was kind of an international picture. It was an international miniseries that I think we've all seen. So we've seen this guy before, apparently, so whatever. Sure. Valencia Cavalli, the gal that gets her shirt ripped off or whatever, I was just like thumbing through. She's got 127 credits. She's been in all sorts of shit. That could be nor confirmed nor denied, because the whole thing with any of this is like Enzo probably made this movie and his name's not anywhere on it. He has no credit attributed to this whatsoever, but he probably made this movie as a producer and then as a ghost director for any of the things that were hard, like the action sequences.
Which is weird because it was liked enough to make 3 of them. You think you'd put your name on something that has 2 sequels.
Also,
so I wait before we move on. I have a question. Did you see that the jerky cowboy guy, Rayamundi Harmstorff, he also killed himself?
Oh,
yeah, he did not. He died of Parkinson's. Leaving that out.
No, it says that he died in 1998, suicide by hanging.
Looks like we got some
Parkinson's right here.
Internet
on IMDb.
Got some internet stuff. Why don't you guys get in a fight over it? There's no way that either of you could be wrong. Who get all of their data from the most wrong source of all time, even though Sam was just saying that you can't take IMDb's word for anything.
Oh, so I guess he hung himself because he had Parkinson's, and that's so much sadder. Yeah. And I chose to leave that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for once again finding something that I chose to leave out.
God damn it.
Well, no, I was just looking at his pictures and I happened to scroll down and see that. And I was like, well, how many of the other ones in this movie killed themselves?
It's not a
Maybe
cursed
this is
movie,
cursed.
Ernie. This isn't King Tut's tomb here, Jackie. It's just a shitty Italian movie.
Okay,
and people
you say so.
People kill themselves, and it's really sad, and they should stop it. And if you need help, you should call 1-800-GET-HELP, I think is what it is.
Well, why'd they make 3 of these? Why'd they make 2 Bronx Warriors? Apparently Enzo's like, this guy's going to be the guy, whether he thinks that because he likes his butt or he likes that he's tall and mostly muscular. That whatever that is. Also, you go to New Mexico, you get to blow up shit. You're still there. You're like, let us keep this motherfucking train rolling, because Fenson's in the next one, and you figure they probably just kept shooting. They were just like, fuck it, this is going great, let's just keep going. Fenson's not in the 3rd one. But we need to talk about the most important member of the cast. At first, I didn't recognize him. I thought that somebody had taken Charlton Heston's head and stuck it on Charles Bronson's body. I was like, Charlton Brosnio? Is that you? But no, it's Antonio Sabato Sr.
Ah, old Tony Sabatti.
Yeah, and apparently this is an aged Antonio Sabato Sr.
Yeah.
So Junior has got fucking nothing on his old man.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Right.
Like this guy's stacked for a 50-something-year-old dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Big and very, very LA beach buff, not necessarily Italian movie guy buff.
No, because he's not. He's a local, well, he's a Hollywood-ish guy. Mm-hmm. He did a lot of westerns, and when he was younger, I'm sure that he was quite dreamy.
Right, but being like Hemsworth shredded is not really very common in 1984's western genre.
No, this guy's just Brosnan shredded. He's just a shredded dude.
Yeah, Chucky was pretty shredded too, but
this guy's shredded, and sorry, Junior, you're not near as shredded as your dad.
Yeah.
In fact, his dad would say things to him like, hey, why don't you quit being such a wimp and draw some pictures of my muscles?
Hey, how come you look like the mailman?
Oh.
Oh.
And then he threw the mailman into the next town like a javelin.
Right, yeah, I threw him onto Route 66, and that man exploded a building.
Exploded into one of these abandoned gas stations.
That's how it works when you fill up your buildings with hydrogen.
Well, and here's the deal. Is I thought, wow, that's a pretty good-looking dude, right? But then he smiles, and his teeth are weird, and I just keep seeing Gollum teeth. Right. Like they should be, I don't know, they were just weirdly spaced, and it just was so distracting for me that it took away from his handsomeness.
I heard that he also hates potatoes and loves raw fish. So maybe that's just the way it is when you have Gollum teeth.
He doesn't go for second breakfast, especially if it's got susties.
Yeah, right. Lampas bread is for pussies. Okay, are we ready to do Thunder from...
Yeah.
Thunder!
Southern Utah, not from down under. Okay, so basically what we've got here is... I think it's implied that this Native American man, I think they say he's Apache, or Navajo.
Navajo.
Yeah. Is back from war. Is that what this movie's in play? Is he?
That's what his
John
jacket
Rambo?
is meant to tell us.
Yeah, because he's hitched a ride in the back of the truck. He's coming home from being absent from a long time, and he wears a green army, maybe not an army, but maybe a Marine's jacket. He's wearing
He looks suspiciously like Rambo.
right. He's not in Hope, Oregon, because that would have cost too much. But he's in Death Valley someplace.
He's in Monument Valley.
Monument
somewhere.
Valley, not Death Valley. Thank you. He would have died in Death Valley. Boy, it's either really cold shooting this movie or it's too hot to shoot this movie. Take your pick.
Weather's not that bad in this valley, but thunder will kill you. It's Death Valley for his reasons.
Did you know?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
right. Did you know that in Death Valley, I think it's Death Valley, that they have rocks that move? Like people have discovered for thousands of years, people have seen these rocks, and they're big boulders, but like a 50-pound rock, and it will have a snail trail behind it. And they're like, what the fuck?
There's a good YouTube video that explains how that happens.
It is. It's
erosion.
And ice. It's actually, which
Yeah.
is what erosion is caused. It's the movement of water, basically, but for thousands of years.
They're called sailing stones.
Yeah, sailing
I'd
stones.
never heard of this.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Anyways, we're not talking about Death Valley. We're talking about Monument Valley. But it might not even be Monument Valley, because I was actually surprised when we were down there that Monument Valley is actually just it's a huge, massive section. But there's like a bunch of these places where you've got the iconic Western rock area. So it may not be actual Monument Valley, but I'm guessing it probably is around there.
They're shooting this off the old Route 66 somewhere in the Four Corners region, I'm guessing.
Yeah, which I think Monument's in Arizona and Utah and doesn't go into New Mexico. But why am I giving everybody a geography lesson? That's why you tune in to podcasts.
Not a good one. It's a poor geography lesson. You're like, I kind of don't know where this is. Geography lesson.
Okay.
Plus, if they get in trouble with, New Mexico or Arizona, they just jump over the line.
Yeah, can't catch me.
And they're like,
coppers.
can't get me now.
Yeah.
I'm in Utah's district.
Oh, now I'm over
Blow
here.
shit up over here.
Jumped over that one too. Oop, now I'm back in Utah. Ooh, do I stick my foot in Arizona? Okay, so he gets let off in the middle of fucking nowhere. And he is walking down the road, I guess. And at some gas station that is owned by a lady, or a lady and her father, or a lady and some elderly gentleman who may not be related to anybody, because I'm confused about this man's place in this film.
Someone called him her grandfather in the movie, so I'm going to assume that is her grandfather.
Okay, that's her grandfather. Okay.
Yes.
The town butthole cop is there getting his air filled up in his tires, which I guess is a thing that you can pay for from a lady. And he's like, hey, baby, you're pretty good at using air compressors. Maybe you could squeeze some air out of my ball. Oh, God,
no,
I'm fucking terrible.
That's not what he says.
He's
know
like,
what he said. Would you rather pump air, or would you rather get pumped?
Yeah, it's not,
by me.
It's not fun when you just repeat what the movie says. You got to embellish to have.
I just thought that was a great pickup line.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, yeah, in my 20s, I would have totally went around checking people's air in their tires. If I would have gotten that line said to me, I would have been like, yeah. But not now. Now I'm old and I'm not going to get down on my knees like that. It'll just hurt too much.
Okay.
What if he was like, this is a pretty nice service station. How about I service your station with my wiener mechanic?
That's the reaction I would have. I would laugh. That's hilarious.
Hey, baby. Looks like your rear tire's sagging a little bit. I might want to hit it with my lug nut wrench.
No, that was not funny. I would just walk away from that one like, well, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Tire's sagging. It's not sexy. Inflating tires is not sexy, Jackie. It cannot be sexy. Hey, can Can you set your PSI to 75? Because that's, or wait, are you European? Do you go by KPA? Yeah, it's not sexy. Wrenching is not hot. Unless you're like one of those calendar girls that all the mechanics have, that like the ladies covered in grease.
The pinups with the filler up and all that.
Yeah, I guess that's sexy.
It's like, you've got a lot of tire dust on your hand. Could I have a 3rd-degree burn hand job, please?
Hey, you're over there welding without a welding mask on. Now you're blind. Hot stuff. Pinup girl. Okay. All right. So he's like, let me put penis in parts of you. And Thunder walks up and he slams the hood door and he's like, you get away, you son of a bitch. And the cop is like, hey, nobody talks to me like that. They're saying all this with their eyeballs. I see you're back in town, and God damn it, I remember you from high school. You're a real pain in the ass. I'm going to just leave and go to work. So Thunder, he goes inside, and he's like, oh, hey, ladies, Grandpa, what's up? And Grandpa's like, you are here for Sheila. Wait, her name is Sheila? Huh, okay.
Sheila.
She likes to pump tires, and he's like, the fate of the old gods say that she is yours by right.
The most interesting thing about this scene is he goes to hug the old man and the old man's like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, dude.
It's
the old
great.
guy's got his arms like down by his sides, like, gross.
I don't do hugs.
He doesn't do hugs.
Not comfortable. You're in my bubble. Meanwhile, there's some explosions happening, and Thunder's like, hey, what's that sounds? And the grandpa guy's like, oh, they're putting in a fucking strip mall or some bullshit over our fucking Indian burial ground. And Thunder's like, wait, I thought if you did that, like, spooky ghost came and haunted you. No, it's just really disrespectful. And like, we actually signed a treaty with Teddy Roosevelt, me, and your grandpa, Fighting Eagle, or whatever your grandpa's name. I think it was Fighting Eagle. It was pretty lame.
Something like that.
Yeah. We signed this treaty. It's here up on the wall where treaties go. Like the American president, I just keep them here in my mobile home. It's up there on the wall. They're not supposed to do that, but they're white guys, so they do whatever they want. Oh, well, I don't like that at all. I'm going to go check it out. So he goes down there. It's just like right over there. And, gas station, house, Indian burial ground. Seems like a good place for Route 66 to go through. And he finds some guy, this buff guy, Antonio Sabato Sr. He's about to piss on one of the graves. And it's awesome when you see the damage that they're doing to this cemetery, because it's not good production design here.
No. And the cemetery has gravestones, which is not very Native American.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It looks like the explosions unearthed these tombstones that are very
something
European.
like that. They're in the caves. They're like, they're very Roman Catholic. And the best part is the weirdness of the actor making a choice. It's Antonio Sabato Sr. unzips his pants to go pee and then walks like half a mile before finding a place to pee.
And
he's trying to get his wiener a suntan.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this sucker out. So Thunder's like, hey, don't piss on my grandpa's grave or whatever. I guess you blew it all up, so there's body parts everywhere now. But I'll punch you. So he punches him out, and then he's like, I'm gonna get revenge on that guy who just ran. Thunder just runs away. He's like, punch, 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 and then just runs off. And like the whole movie is kind of like implying like, oh, he's got like Native American karate fighting skills. Like he's like an actual Billy Jack. But this is the only time he starts punching guys out. The rest of the time he's just blowing shit up.
He does some punching a little bit later. A little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that there was not more fight scenes in this, but
he doesn't punch very well.
No.
What do you want?
That's what I want. I want my movies to have guys that don't punch very well because it's fun. It's fun. I like bad acting. I'm on a bad movie.
Yeah,
podcast.
he gives the guy the double axe handle later.
Yeah,
You're like,
right.
okay, double axe handle.
Oh yeah,
that doesn't work.
So Thunder, he goes down to the sheriff's office. This is post fencing, and he's like, "Hey, I demand to talk to the president." Wait.
No, he says, I want to talk to the sheriff, and he won't leave. And he's sitting peacefully inside the police station in the lobby with his signed treaty.
Okay, you missed out on... I hate it when you do this, Jackie. Don't argue so much. He does say, when he's sitting down there, Officer Pigjob says, hey, that Native American guy is here, and he won't leave until he talks to the president. He says that. That's why I wrote it down. That is why I write things down every time.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He does say that the president, he needs to talk to the president. It's an emergency.
Well, he'll talk to the sheriff or the president, and the sheriff is the only one that happens to be there.
Well, we can't get Reagan on the phone. We tried, buddy. We tried to, but President Reagan's very busy with the jelly beans and the forgetting where he's at currently. So we just have to do with local county sheriff instead. Oh, okay. Like, how about you go to like the county commissioner's office or the Bureau of Land Reclamation? The sheriff isn't your guy here, nor is the president. That's a little too high up the food chain.
In 1983, nobody's his guy.
Yeah.
Every one of those places you mentioned is just going to be like, oh, let me see that for a second. Whoops.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
Didn't know we made it,
was
out
burned
of
in a
flash
fire.
paper. Yeah, I shouldn't have smoked so close to it.
Smash it and burn it in front of him and then call him an Indian giver. But you just burned my documentation on my land ownership. You're the Indian giver. Now get off your land that's now ours.
Oh, yeah? Well, your face looks like you just put it in a trash heap and got bugs all over it from the trash. You know what that is? That's an Indian burn. Guys want to...
Moving on.
Formal apology in written form.
Guys want to trade me for Ronald Reagan? Get Reagan in here. He's probably better at this. Okay. So he tells him to take the treaty, get that treaty shit out of here. I'm not going to help you. So why don't you go take it to the bank, Buster? So he does take it to the bank, and the bank is an actual fucking bank. It's First Interstate Bank. Kind of a big deal.
Like, go in there and like say, this is bullshit. Also, here's this documentation that you're probably just going to take and burn in front of me and then laugh. He just like pickets. He just sits out front. Which I think is fine. This is a good idea, maybe.
Well, I don't know.
He doesn't even talk to anybody. He's just out there sitting like a homeless bum. I mean, yeah, I would probably call the cops too and be like, hey, there's some weirdo sitting outside of the bank scaring the customers.
No loitering.
Come get this asshole out of here.
Yeah. It says right there, no skateboarding, no loitering, and no shirt, no shoes, no service. Unless you're loitering and have a skateboard. For some reason, we've got that weird loophole that if you have all of them, you can do that, but not individually.
Or if you're extremely handsome, we'll let you in without a shirt and shoes.
Unless you're loitering.
But yeah, if you're just loitering, get the hell out of here.
Rules. Okay, so he just parks it, and First Interstate Bank does not give permission for their likeness to appear in this movie. I'm assuming because they are portrayed to be the bad guys.
I'm just puzzled on how they didn't get in trouble for using this, and that First Interstate didn't just sue the living piss out of them.
Yeah, this is before Barbra Streisanding was a thing. So you think that they would have like made a big stink, and then who's gonna care? Like, oh, First Interstate Bank come in and say that this movie can't make them look like a bunch of fucking assholes that stomp on Native Americans. Yeah, they should. I mean,
but what's weird is that I remember as a kid that we had First Interstate Bank in Boise, and then it turned into a Wells Fargo, and they got bought out.
Yeah.
So maybe this is one of those abandoned buildings that Sam was saying.
No, First Interstate was big in 1983, and maybe they did get in. Maybe they didn't fight back on this because they're like, we should sue these people, and somebody was like, but we're doing this in real life, and we're about to get busted for it.
You're so cute, Jackie. Oh, when I was a kid, First Interstate Bank was a bank in Boise. No, it was California's biggest bank for about 50 years before that. There was just some of it in Boise, Idaho. It was the biggest Western bank until 1990s, and it's making a giant comeback. The tallest the tower in Los Angeles, it's got a big old fucking First Interstate Bank logo at the top of it. They're still out there. They're still kicking ass. They're still taking Indian burial grounds and blowing them up to
turning them into mines.
Is that what they're doing? I thought it was a strip mall or something. Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever you can turn it into and make some cash, right?
I don't know.
I thought they were doing an observatory.
That's a weird thing.
An observatory is not a cash proposition.
It's a weird thing for villainy to be proposing. Like, yeah, with our science. We're going to look up at the night sky and make discoveries. We're
going to bulldoze that Native American burial ground and build a planetarium. No one will go to it.
It's on Route 66. There's nothing out here. We'll have a great illumination of the stars. Okay, so he sits outside. The cops come to kick him out. They take him out of the county, drop him off at the bridge. He storms off. As he's walking home, the demo guys that he beat up earlier, they see him walking. So they're like, hey, let's get him. And so they chase him around in their Jeep, and they're going to lasso him with their rope, and they finally do. It takes fucking forever. And so then they rough him up pretty good. And he's laying in the ground, broken and beaten and bloodied. He looks up and says, "Oh, could you, America, betray me?" And vows revenge.
Yes.
Everybody's vowing revenge in this film for getting beat up.
Well, and I thought it was kind of weird when they were trying to lasso him, because instead of standing on the other side of the bar in the Jeep, they're standing between the bar and the front seat. So somebody's just getting dick hit in their fucking back of their head this entire ride.
You know how penises work, but okay.
I'm just saying.
They were wearing pants.
Probably didn't smell real great.
These men had pants.
Probably didn't smell good.
What if they're just giant pant-defying wieners?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just their face-seeking.
Yep.
Giant
eye poking
wieners.
out.
Yep. Taking Jackie's side here, Sam. Trying to make her nonsense make sense.
Makes as much sense as these guys in the Jeep.
True. Okay. So they leave him for dead. He stumbles back, or he wanders back in town. He actually looks like he's doing pretty good. Like, he heals up quick.
He's hoofing it, and he's got a very pissed walk. His face never displays any level of emotion whatsoever.
But he walked for like 20 miles because he got driven all the way to the county line. And I thought these guys beat him up so bad that he was like, I got blood spewing out of my mouth, probably internal injuries. But he just saunters back into town, and the cops spot him, and they're like, hey, I thought I told you to never come back in this county or we were going to fill you full of hot lead. And he's like, oh, yeah? Well, I'd like to file a police report that those guys beat me up. And they're like, wait, you came back to this town that's in a different county than where you got beat up in? Because we took you out of the county. And so you walk back into a different county and say, hey,
I think he was walking back to where he came. They took him to the county line, and he just, after they left, started coming back into the county.
No, I don't think so, because he walks across the bridge. If you stop at the county line, and in front of that is a bridge, and you walk across that bridge, you are now in a different county. He lives across the bridge.
Maybe just to throw him off the trail, he went under the bridge, swam across the river, and then came back up.
Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, stretch. Either way, they're like, hey, we told you not to come back here, and we don't really care about you getting beat up. So why don't you stand against this wall here? And resisted arrest. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and do more bad things to your body with pain. So he gets beat up with a nightstick, and
well, the cop implies that he's gonna rape him with the nightstick.
A bit.
Yeah,
just a bit.
Which is like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Well,
this guy's
gotta go
really
someplace.
douchey.
Yeah. Oh, Officer Pig's terrible. He's a real butthole.
Barry.
Yeah. He's a berry hole. So he fights back and gets away. And
see, there's more fist fighting that you said didn't exist right there.
What?
More fist fighting that you said didn't exist right there.
Yeah, he just kind of like shoves him off though and smashes.
He punches the guy poorly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he jumps into a window to get into the trading post.
Hey, you don't jump into the building. You jump out of the building.
It's broad daylight. He can just use the front door, right?
Yeah. Ding dong. Hi. Welcome to
but there's the back of the store.
Oh.
He'd have to walk around to the front. Yeah, that's tough, Jackie. So I guess just smash your head into plate glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then steal a bow and arrow on your way out.
I like how people call it a bow and arrow. Like you only get one arrow to go with your bow.
Can I have that back, please? Oh, it's punctured my lung.
Yes. Here you go. You only get one.
You can take it from my cold dead hands, which will be in just a moment.
It's a bow and a quiver of arrows. Plural, Jackie.
It's just a bow, and then you assume that there's arrows that come with it.
Oh, they're pocketed. They're like attached in a big box, and then you got to open it up. No, he steals a bow and a quiver of arrows. That's what he gets.
But we all know that he's not going to be successful because he doesn't have those cool shoes like in that one movie that we watched where the guy had the arrows in his shoes. No, this is how you do it. You do a quiver behind your back. They're right there, closer to your weapon, rather than bending over to pick something out of your boot that will stab you in the foot. I'm pretty sure
stab you in the leg.
All those English longbowmen did not have the arrows, the arrow in their boot. They wouldn't have beat the French at anything. Quivers.
Except for walking with a limp.
Yeah.
From stabbing themselves in the legs and foot.
My God, these Englishmen, they are terrible archers.
But they kick our ass in walking with a limp.
I spit on you from my heightened location. Okay. So then he arrows a cop car. It crashes. Pretty good. It's a pretty good crash. And then he steals a fucking truck. Some guy's truck. It just takes off. Cops are chasing him around town. One drives under the semi thing, gets the semi convertible. I hope that guy made it, because if his head was up, it's not on his body anymore. Did that guy die?
Yes, that guy died.
Okay, so he's already caused a police officer. Did the guy that drove into the fence, did he die?
No, he's all right.
Okay, all right. Another car gets turned over pretty goddamn good.
He gets paralyzed, they say so in the movie.
No, that's a later guy that gets turned over.
That's the later guy? So there's a second turnover?
Yeah, there's a second turnover. He leads them to through this neighborhood, and one is like, I can't stop, and jumps through another fence and crashes into like an embankment. And when Burt Reynolds did the stunt, jumping onto the back of the fucking boat, and he fucking smashed up his back real good. If there's a stuntman in this car, that guy had a bad fucking day, because this thing just thuds.
The front of the car takes some of the shock because it did fold over, but still, it's like a 78 Plymouth Dynasty. There's no give in any of that.
No, not good for the stuntman. Now he's out of town, and there's cops everywhere. They all have no brakes. They can't stop. And he gets away after another rollover, and that guy's back breaks. And then this dude comes up and he's like, hey, it's me, Brian Sherman, TV reporter. What's going on here, officers? And they're like, well, what's going on here is you need to get lost. We're not telling you shit, Brian Sherman, TV reporter. He's like, all right, well, I'll be in the movie later.
That's exactly what happens.
I only bring it up because it's
and then like later on in the movie we learn that he's actually on vacation, but he's got like a car that has the network on the side of it and he's porting around a camera, you know, and it's like, buddy, you're on vacation. What the hell are you doing? Did you steal that car?
He's embezzling large amounts of money from the news station.
Yeah, why do you think he's out in the middle of goddamn fucking nowhere on his vacation? Remember when fucking Walter White went out to the desert and buried all that goddamn fucking money? He had to fucking put it someplace. He couldn't just keep it in a big mattress under, you know, in his house. That's what this guy's doing. He's burying the evidence out in the middle of fucking nowhere where nobody's going to look at for it. Until he has to dig it up because some neo-Nazis he got in bed with them and they killed his brother-in-law in front of him. That's what happened in a show I watched.
Good. Okay.
All right. You may have heard of it before. So now the cops have a Cessna and they're out, you know, Thunder's back out, I guess, on his side of the bridge or whatever part of the world that he lives in. And he's out in the deserty, mountainy areas and they're flying around looking for him and they spot his truck. And so more cops pull up. They're chasing after him up in the hills and they split up and the sheriff's there and Team Sheriff is like, hey, let's go over here. Oh, hey, there's some guys over here. And there's the dudes are the demolition guys, the douches from the beginning of the movie. And they're like, hey, what are you doing here? And they're like, well, we're watching the ASU game. Do you want to watch? Oh, we're hunting in India. Wait, you're hunting in India, and you say, well, that's our second favorite thing to do besides watching ASU football. Let's go get him.
You know what our third favorite thing to do is? Fill in the blank to not doing our jobs.
Mm-hmm. No.
Whatever that may be.
No, we blowed up that cemetery pretty good. Well, what's phase 2 of the observation construction? ASU football?
ASU football. Go Sun Devils.
Okay, where the hell are we? So Thunder, he's out arrowing dudes, kind of, not really. He like bonks a guy against some rocks and he's out. And then another cop fires at him, but the bullets don't hit him. He deflects
the guy falls off the cliff, shoots straight in the air.
He falls off the cliff.
Almost dies of his own volition. There's nothing that Thunder does. He's just standing there and this guy's like, I gotcha. Wait, I don't. Oh, no. And then Thunder's like, well, I'll save you because you suck so bad at trying to kill me. And then bonks him.
Is your name Officer Billy by chance? Well, sure is. All right. We'll see you later in the movie too, Officer Billy. So Team Sheriff, they hear the gunshot, so they start shooting at him. And he's like, shit. And so he holds on to Butch's hand and jumps off the fucking cliff edge and falls into the river.
This is not a bad dive. It's an impossible dive.
He died.
There's a guy that jumps off a cliff. I don't know if he lands on a net or something. Mm-hmm. There's then what looks like a dummy that has been darted towards the ground.
Yeah.
And it is at least traveling in a straight line. And then there's the end of the dive, which is someone performing a decent enough dive while holding a bow. But altogether, it's like, it looks so bad. It's incredibly bad.
It's really stupid. Because he does this like dumb leap. Like the start of his dive is not good. It's like, no. And then you see that fucking dummy and it's like they built a giant sling at the top of a fucking rock cliff to like pull that thing back so fucking hard. Cause it's like, pew, it's going fast. And then you get an okay dive at the end. And he's like 300 fucking feet up.
Yes.
Terminal velocity, dude.
And the river is probably not that deep. It's very calm water.
It's not very deep. Even if it was, he hits the fucking water surface at 98 miles an hour. He died.
While holding a bow in front of him.
Well, he didn't make it.
It breaks his wrist and smashes his face.
It's all snap, crackle, pop on this guy.
And then Barry, after he does all this, like, just rips off a wild shot and is like, yep, I got him. The sheriff's like, are you sure? He's like, oh, yeah, he's deader than shit. I shoot good.
Way to go, Barry.
And then you're like, Barry, are you a little overconfident in your shooting ability? And then he gets out and starts punching dudes. And then Barry's like, yeah, I'm never going to hit him from here. And you're like, but you just shot him post-dive. But now he's punching, so, okay. You suck, Barry.
Fuck you, Barry. So now they gotta call in a chopper, and some more guys. So it's nighttime, and the demo guys are hanging out, I guess, at the demolition site, because things just start getting blowed up, and I assume that it's Thunder stopping their shit.
He's just found the dynamite shed, spread some of it around, and then lit the rest off.
Oh, they don't keep it locked, huh? Okay.
He doesn't need keys. He's Thunder.
Yeah, that's true.
Padlock is going to cause him very little distress.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Brian Sherman, TV reporter, he comes up to Grandpa, Sheila's grandpa, and he's like, hey, old guy that I don't know if is involved with the plot of this movie or not in any way, but you're a Native American man. You must know that other Native American man that they're hunting. Oh, I'm sorry, Indian. This is 1983. So you know much about what's going on? He's like, you don't want to know, Brian Sherman, TV reporter. I'll never tell you about Night Eagle. That was his name. Night Eagle! Grandpa. Night Eagle. Fucking really. They opened for Stryper, I think, for like 6 weeks.
You know, they actually have, nature has night eagles. You know what they're called? Owls.
Yeah, okay. That's true. Good one. Zing.
For those in the know.
Okay, so he's like, well, old man, where are you going? I'm going to go up to the cemetery. That's where Thunder's at. Okay, well, do you want a lift or something? I'll take you up there. Yeah, sure. But you got to tell me what's going on, though. Okay, fine. Cool. So the cops are there, too.
He doesn't, because he's like, fuck off, dickface. And he's like, my mom's grandma was one part Cherokee. And he's like, get on board.
Yeah, right.
He didn't say how much. He's like, one part.
Good enough.
That's fine. You're on. You're in. You're in, Brian Sherman.
And you've got an El Dorado. Nice.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't know newspaper reporters made that much to have a new El Dorado. Yeah, don't ask questions about the car, okay, old man?
Yep.
Unless you want to get buried in the desert, too. What was that? Nothing at all. I'm just a TV reporter. Nothing to see here, illicit. You ever ran over a man and just kept driving away? Old fella. You ever done that? No? Okay.
No.
Me neither.
The old guy's like, have you ever skinned a man alive? Okay, conversation's over.
I'll go back to TV reporting. You're right. This is not the life I should be living. So he takes him up to the cemetery, and the cops are there too, and they light the cave on fire. Where it's also a cave. It's not just a fucking ancient Indian burial ground. It's also a cave that can be lit on fire.
And it's probably been used in at least one horror movie that was shot by these same people.
And also used by the local teenagers to smoke cigarettes and have the sex at.
Yep.
Maybe make some of their own cave paintings by drawing pictures of penises and things of that nature with spray paint.
The cave paintings with their semen.
Oh, That's how all the teenagers in town got haunted. That's why none of the ancient Indian spirits are haunting these men. They're busy with the fucking teenagers because they're really desecrating the place. Porked on my head. Okay. So the cave is on fire, and Grandpa was in there, and he's like, why didn't I run out the back like Thunder did at the beginning of this movie? I'm just standing here getting engulfed in flames. Ow, also I'm wearing wool. It's sticking to my skin. I assume that's what Navajo blankets are made out of, wool, right?
I'm not sure.
Alpaca?
Those would be South American blankets.
True. Okay. Different guys.
Different guys, different animals.
Yeah, I don't really know what the Navajo's made from. Buffalo? I know it's hair.
Probably not.
It's woven hair.
Sure, why not? But does that matter? What matters is they killed the wrong guy, and the police are not shaken up about this at all. They're like, yeah, whoops.
They just kind of kick some dirt over him. What?
And then the reporter, Brian Sherman,
TV reporter.
I just catch you guys doing all that on this camera right here. Like, give me the tape. And he's like, okay.
Oh, is that VHS? Is that the eject button? Yeah, sure is. Go ahead. Pop it and see how it comes out. Okay. And so I just take this tape, right? And throw it in the fire and that'll destroy it. Yeah, you could do that. Don't do that. Alrighty then. I'll just throw this in the fire. Hey!
What a great job, Brian Sherman.
TV reporter. And he's like, get out of here, you stupid reporter, or you'll get lit on fire like your tape. And so Officer Pig Barry, he goes into the hills looking for Thunder, and he starts shooting at nothing. And then Thunder like pops out and he shoots Officer Barry butthole in the both of his arms.
Yep. This would ordinarily be a much worse injury, but he's like broken into the sporting goods section of the local trading post and he's hit him with field tips. So
yeah, right.
The arrow is known to do the most damage coming out if it's got a broadhead, but with a field tip, it would just come right out.
That's why the orcs had to shoot Boromir so many times.
Yeah. No, they had broadheads and he died pretty good. He died. Barry seems fine. He's going to have beers and he's going to shoot his own shed drunk later for amusement at the behest of his horse that he has for whatever reason.
Thank God this guy's a Native American instead of Mordor's orcs.
It gets the field tips. It's nothing to do with anything but that.
I guess they weren't from Mordor. Jesus, you ignorant Lord of the Rings bastard, me. Then they, while he's recuperating from his arrow wounds, he fires up the barbecue and throws a slab of beef on it and yells to his wife, "Looks like meat's back on the menu, baby!" Because that's what
And she just closes the door. The screen door was closed, but the normal door was open, and she just closes it and leaves him out there.
Yeah, fucking Boromir, Barry, whatever. I'm trying to punch this Lord of the Rings joke home, and I just can't come up with it. I can't tie them together. Just can't do it. There's got to be something there. There's always a Lord of the Rings joke everywhere, but tripping up the hills of Mount Doom. That's what I'm doing.
Yep.
Oh no, I dropped the ring.
You were getting somewhere with Barrymere, but that was the only piece that you should have hung on to.
All right. So he the cops find him. He's got the arrows in his arms, and the sheriff is like, "Oh man, this guy's really fucking the place up. He's already injured 2 of my cops, and he scalped 4 civilians." Wait, what?
When did that happen? Is he just embroidering to get like more people, like the FBI, on this or something?
Why didn't he say, "Well, and one of my cops he killed from their bad driving. That guy died." Like, he just goes straight from, he injured 2 of my police officers and scalped 4 civilians.
That never happened.
No.
He didn't actually do that.
He scalped 4 civilians.
Did somebody do that?
Could we, we're going to have to get their, like, get this in the paper. This is freaking national news. We're going to need names, events of how this all went down. There's going to have to be investigations, you know, autopsies, things of that nature. So where do you want to start, Sheriff? Did I say he scalped 4 civilians? I meant to say he scalped 4 Taylor Swift tickets. Yes.
That he stole from the trading post with the bow.
Get him!
Did you see the window of the trading post?
Yeah.
APB on this guy. Let's go.
Okay. So, meanwhile, Brian Sherman, TV reporter, he calls into the newspaper because, hey, so funny story. I'm out here on vacation burying my money. I mean, not doing any of that. But I filmed some pretty serious news, and the cops threw away my tape into the fire because I told them how it worked. You want to do my job for me?
You gave him the tape?
Yeah, I did. Anyways.
It's also, he doesn't even get, like, he has to, like, yell at him through his answering machine for about 2 minutes before he even picks up.
Right. And then he goes down to a bar and he hears on the radio this fucking Wolfman Jack style guy named Dancing Crow, who is not a Native American man at all.
No.
And he's just running pirate radio and being like, hey, you're listening to the Dancing Crow. Right now we got some we got some busting surfboards coming up and some crazy news things or whatever he fucking says for his pirate radio. And Brian Sherman, TV reporter's like, hey, that's just what I need. Because that TV or that news reporter that, I told him he was going to win a Pulitzer, but fuck him. I'll let Dancing Crow have the scoop.
Kind of.
Hey.
Because he's like, hey, Dancing Crow, how about you run something that's not mush on your show?
Okay, what do you got?
And then after where they make their agreement, he's like, also, I have one favor to ask. Don't call my show mush, please.
Fair enough.
Guy who gave the police the tape.
All he does is like say, hey, this is me, Brian Sherman, TV reporter. There's a Native American man in the hills, and the cops are chasing after him. Scoop. Dancing. Oh, all right. Well, I can run with that. So you're just going to make up the rest of the fucking story, Dancing Crow?
Yeah, no, it's just falling back on Enzo's love of the movie The Warriors.
It very much is. Morning comes, and the hills are swarming with cops. They've now got multiple choppers, multiple planes. They got dogs. They got men on horseback.
They've got 2 helicopters and a Cessna now.
Yeah.
This is another point where, like, I've already seen so many crashes. I've seen so many explosions. Now I'm looking at 3 aviation devices going, how the fuck did they pull this off anyway?
Officer Pig Job, he's at home because I guess he's laid up. And he's just like shooting. Oh, I guess he's got a can on a hitching post, but his horse is like right next to the other hitching post. And he's just fucking trying to shoot this can with injured arms.
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
Antonio Sabato shows up and he's like, we got to do something about this. He's like, yeah, we do. And they have this conversation about what they're going to do, which is they're going to do nothing. Antonio Sabato is going to just do whatever. And then afterwards, Barry's like, oh, by the way, this conversation didn't take place. And I'm like, and it didn't need to at all. Because you're just some drunk guy shooting a can next to his horse in a chair.
Why didn't you even show up? I'm just giving my blessing to get revenge that you vowed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks. I'll see you later. Oh, yeah. Also, while he's sitting there, like, he's shooting at the can. He can't hit it. his horse is like, fuck God, why am I your horse? And he's listening to Dancing Crow, and Dancing Crow's like, that Officer Barry guy, he sucks. He sucks real bad. Fuck, man, if I were him, I would stick a gun in my mouth, and he's not even good enough for that. You should just jump off of the fucking top of a huge cliffside and try to do a good dive and shatter because he sucks. He sucks so bad, Officer Barrett. He's like, hey, Sheila, shut that shit off. God damn it. I'm tired of getting dissed on radio by Dancing Crow.
Yeah.
Damn it, I missed. When's dinner? I'm hungry.
Jesus.
This guy sucks. All right. So our demo heavy, he goes to, I guess, his place, and he's got a bunker that's got fucking heavy artillery in it.
He's got a bazooka and an M16.
It's a big gun.
And this guy, I don't, this isn't a real bazooka.
No.
This is a bullshituka.
Okay.
Spray paint and this is some PVC pipe and some plumbing fittings and some spray paint.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna get him with these. Meanwhile, the cops are watching. They're watching ASU football now. They're like, oh, hey, let's, the game's on. Let's stop punting that Native American man.
Great, because they're shitty football fans too. They're just anything to not do their job, guys. Like, hey, look at this. Svensson keeps saying, hey, look what he's gonna do, and then some other guy yells, he's gonna make a touchdown. Is he gonna make it like a chocolate cake touchdown? Like, what kind of touchdown is he gonna make? One with doilies?
Hey, they're running the make a touchdown play. All right. I like this one. So Thunder has captured one of the police officers and sent him back down with a message. And the message is like, don't do this anymore. I'm going to fucking turn you guys into Custer. And, this is going to be your last stand. Wow. I think he means it. Oh, okay. Why'd he take your pants off? He set him down with no pants.
Yeah.
I want you to give that cap a
But
message.
his boots were still on.
Right.
So he was like, take off your pants and then, okay, put your boots back on because I don't want your feet to get injured.
Just his pants.
Okay, now go take my message.
Not his shirt, not his undershirt. He just took his pants off. All right, you're going to deliver a message. You guys better quit fucking around or this is going to be a bloodbath up here. Now get those pants off. It's fucking weird. I don't know if that guy ever got his pants back.
No, he didn't. He can't have got his pants. When you put your boots back on, you've resigned to defeat on having your pants back.
All right. Well, I don't do well with threats, said the sheriff. Let's fucking go, man. Let's get him. They all run off, and the sheriff looks back, and he's like, Phil, what are you doing? I don't have any pants. Get your ass up that hill. Aww.
Get your ass up here. Just keep your dick away from the sagebrush.
But didn't anybody bring extra
I
pants?
got a tick. There's a tick on my ball sack. Somebody look.
I like that you just made dumb jokes to get Jackie back involved. He had to get the balls and the penis in for her, so she had things to talk about.
Well, I mean, that whole section where they're just searching for him is super boring, and I just didn't have anything to contribute up until the point where the guy didn't have any pants on, and then I'm like, oh, I'm back in.
Why'd you take?
There could be a possible wiener spotting in this scene.
Why'd you take his?
But there wasn't.
Why'd you take his pants off? Anyways, so the demo dogs, that's what I'm calling them right here. They nab Sheila. And they're like, yeah, no, that's our plan. We made this up right here. We were just asking her where he's at. But I guess when I said we need a distraction to get him out of the hills, I should have immediately thought about kidnapping his betrothed that the Native American gods demanded he be with.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Well, that worked out. That she was being a shithead because now we've kidnapped her, and I'm gonna blow up this fucking gas station that nobody uses. Ha 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 ha! And the gas station blows up, and that causes her car to blow up, and that causes her house to blow up.
They just blow this whole fucking thing up. Probably just left it there, just like that.
I didn't mean to blow up your house. I'm sorry about that. You shouldn't have filled it with hydrogen.
I think he meant to blow it all up. He's a huge dickhead.
Yeah, well, then he would have had to put gas like in her. Why did her house explode?
Because it all worked out. Like, he was hoping, and it worked out. Like, he's not going to go through... Like, he was so lazy about blowing up the gas pump area. He was like, oh, get some gas over here. Okay, I'm done with this. Whatever. I'll just lock this in. I'm going to hope for the best. And it worked out. It worked out for the best. All of it blew up, and he's like, high five me. I guessed right.
I had no idea she had a meth lab in there, but whoo!
Or just a gas stove, maybe.
She left the gas on. Okay. So Thunder, he fucking shoots at a chopper, and this chopper guy, he's flying around looking for
watching football.
He's not looking for Thunder. He's watching ASU on a little TV.
They go through every one of the airplanes and helicopters, and they're all just watching TV.
Yep.
Watching the football game.
Which is pretty impressive. I mean, for back then, right? Like, they probably have an antenna on the top of that plane to get that kind of reception.
Yeah, sure.
This is still in the era of rabbit ears, right?
Yeah. I mean, rabbit ears didn't work for shit back. This is the era when you had to have a mast antenna to actually get fucking TV.
Unit 2, Chopper 2, have you spotted the perp at all? Cover. Nope. Oh, yeah, the touchdown play. I mean, no, we haven't seen him. We're looking real hard up here, though. Over and out.
And then, he hits one of the monuments in Monument Valley because you're watching fucking football.
Your last words are, did he make a touchdown?
Did he make the touchdown?
Okay. So yeah, also he fucking shoots this chopper and nobody fucking notices ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well, what's weird is I thought in this shot that he got the cop in the arm, but then in the next shot, it's just in the side of the chopper. And I'm like, this cop doesn't give a shit about anything. Like, he's watching the football and he just got shot with an arrow and he's like so drunk in the helicopter. He's like, oh, I think a rock hit me.
The only purpose this scene serves is to say that these guys aren't looking for him, actually. They're just watching football because nothing happens with this fucking arrow. Anyways, he pops out as Sheila's about to get raped, but he breaks that up and kicks their ass and steals his bazooka. And that's the end of we don't see the demo guys again, right?
No, he kills two of them. And then the third, which is Antonio Sabato, we don't know if he dies or not.
Number one enemy, number two maybe in this whole movie, he just punches out and then walks away from, hey, you gonna be okay, Sheila? Well, yeah, go kick some ass. Maybe, I know what happens.
She uses her own blood to give him... Sheila kills the fuck out of that guy.
Yeah, kills the shit out of Antonio Sabato.
That guy's probably just like a pile of entrails when we get back to... They're like, we found two bodies and a pile of meat.
And some other stuff.
Yeah, she's brained him with a giant rock repeatedly.
Yeah, no, he doesn't make it. He's dead. The other two guys, even though they're field tips, they both get hit in the lung area, so they're not going to make it either.
Yeah. Okay, so he steals their bazooka and he starts blasting fucking guys and cars and no, he blew up our ASU football headquarters, our tailgating place. God damn it!
He does. He blows, and it's not a police headquarters. It is a fucking tailgate. It's got the fucking pop-up tent. There's coolers and a TV.
The brats.
They're just running a tailgate, not doing their job. Yeah. Fucking brats.
Yeah,
are
all
blown
of
up.
these men are trying to get away from their wives, and they're like, "There's an Indian on the loose. We gotta go."
All that's left is the cornhole equipment. Oh man. Hey, let's go play cornhole.
Let's play cornhole.
Still tailgate. We'll just assume that they're making the touchdown play.
Also, he has just a sack because apparently Thomas or whatever Antonio Sabato, his character, he had a sack of propellant grenades.
Yeah.
That's got to be like, what, 30 grenades in there by the end of this thing?
Yeah, he's got quite a few.
It would be so heavy that he would just be like, "This is not going to happen.
And,
okay, I'm going to put some here, and I'll come back for those ones later."
And that like his job is to deal with TNT, it's explosives. But I'm assuming in 1983 that wasn't a high paying job. He spent his entire yearly salary on those fucking RPGs. Those can't be cheap.
And they can't be obtained legally.
Or that. Maybe he's got some, inside stuff because he's a demolition guy or something. I don't know.
So I will say that I had a friend that her parents actually owned a dynamite company.
Okay.
And they weren't rich, but they weren't like poor either.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there's money in the dynamite business.
Yeah, but they owned it.
It's probably
This is just
TNT. I
some
don't think anybody's
fucking
actually
slump.
used dynamite in like 100 years.
Yeah, TNT.
Either way, TNT, I'm sure, having an explosives firm would be profitable.
Otherwise, why would you do it? But your employees that go out and hit the little fucking plunger, they can't afford 30 ordnance pieces from the U.S. military. It's
No,
expensive.
probably not.
Expensive things. Okay. They're for shooting choppers down. Not for civilian to get some whistle pigs.
This one's don't have a lot of, there's not a lot of ordnance here.
They suck. They suck pretty bad.
It is able to take out a tailgate. No problem.
Okay. So somehow he ends up in a fucking bulldozer. He just he fucking ditches the hillside. Like, hold on, I'll be back. And he goes across the bridge back into fucking town, gets to a construction site that has nothing to do with this movie at all, and fucking gets the bulldozer, drives back across the bridge, and they're like, dude,
that's the thing. He gets the bulldozer, and I write down, and an hour and 47 minutes he's back in town
Right.
if he doesn't run out of gas. Because those are not transportation. They actually get put on trailers and moved around. You don't drive them places.
You don't.
That's what I said too, Sam. I'm like, he's not going to make it very
He's
far.
not going to fucking
He's
make
probably
it.
not even going to make it to like the edge of the bridge. And then he's just like tooling around. His bridge is like pretty long, right? And he's like, and it's just, you could just see him. They do all these back shots, right? Where he's got the bazooka behind him, and like him and the bazooka are riding together like they're best friends.
Right. All right, bazooka, punch it. Bazooka punches it. All right, we're doing 5. Top speed. That is the maximum operating speed of this vehicle. Where could he be? We'll never find him. His cars are passed. Get out of the fucking middle of the road.
Meanwhile, if he has to like get out and fight again, he's like, hold on, and his arms are just shaking because he's driving a dozer for 27 miles.
So he heads into town, and the first thing he's not doing much in this bulldozer, but they got a roadblock set up. So he does the thing from Lethal Weapon 3 where he lifts the fucking blade up and ping, 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 the bolts are shooting off of it. You can't get me. I got a bulldozer. So he rams the roadblock, and then he drives through the police station, but he just goes in one side and out the other, and like some cops come out and go, hey, look at that. Air conditioning.
Yep.
It doesn't collapse. I don't even know if he did it. He's just like, whoa.
Well, he fucked it up pretty nice.
He
It's
made
not
a hole
going to
in
be
it.
pleasant. Yeah.
We could patch
He
that
probably hit like a bathroom or something. And so now there's water damage too. I mean,
even if
maybe
you just
Gary
drive
was
a
cooking
hole
his
through a
burrito.
building, it's pretty fucked up.
It is, but like he doesn't collapse it or anything.
No, that'd
They
take
can
way
fix
too
it.
long.
He didn't
He'd
teach-
be there. He'd be there for at least, an hour and 45 minutes, and he's already low on gas.
Yeah. Plus, he actually saved one of those two cops that came out because his wife had made him leftovers and put it in a Tupperware, and he was heating it up in the microwave. And when the bulldozer came through, he was like, "Oh no, the microwave fell!" As he pushes it down onto the ground, he's like, "So I had to take myself out to Arby's."
Yep, looks like it's time for Papa.
And she's like,
Arby's.
"I don't believe you." And he's like,
He
"No,
turns on the
seriously."
news.
Shut up,
He's like,
Brenda.
"Yep, see, Arby's.
Yep.
It's on the news."
Okay. So then Thunder steals a pig with a bulldozer.
This doesn't make any sense.
It's so fucking weird.
There's two guys that are just wrestling with a dead pig in the street outside the hardware store. And they're like, okay, let's huck it back here. And then he perfectly just sort of taps the back of the truck and the pig just flops right in. And he's like, okay, I got the dead pig. And you're like, were you looking for that?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Like, was that just a crime of opportunity?
Yeah.
Or was he like, I know that the Johnsons always bring the two pigs down to the butcher shop today. I'm going to get one of those pigs, and then I'm going to the bank.
The only way that this vengeance plan will work out is if I get a dead pig, and I know where just to get one. It is Sunday, right?
Yeah, like,
Maybe that was
what's
he's
he
like,
going to do with this pig?
I'm going to burn down the bank and then I'm going to drive this dozer back to Sheila and we're going to have pork roast.
Yeah. Dinner time.
And she's like, that's a whole pig. And I already ate that guy that tried to rape me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was going to bury this in the ground and then make a pit and really do it up nice. But you just had raw man, huh, for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay. You like
If he was going to do like a fire pit with the pig, like they'd probably catch him at that point.
He's in a bulldozer in town. They caught him. He's over there in the bulldozer.
What's weird is the movie tells us what he's going to do with this pig later, but when it doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So anyways, he smashes into the First Interstate Bank building, and he jumps down. He starts bazookaing everything. He bazookas the shit out of the vault, or the vault before the actual vault. There's like the gated area, and then there's the vault behind. I don't know.
He's shooting at the vault behind the gate, but he never shoots the gate open.
No.
And then you're kind of wondering, like, what are you doing?
And also, it's a good thing these aren't very good bazooka rounds because you blow yourself up, dumbass.
Yeah, he's now dead. Good job.
Or at least doesn't have any eyebrows left.
At the very least, Jackie, no
Yeah.
eyebrows.
He's going to need
Cinches
some new
pubic hair.
shoelaces.
And that's why I brought the pig. I'll take its eyebrows. All part of my plan. Wait, what?
Then no one will know it was me.
Yeah. Hey, that guy's walking out of here with pig eyebrows. Well, he's not our guy then. We're looking for a
Nope.
guy that doesn't have pig eyebrows.
Yeah, the guy that, no, it says right here, the guy that we're looking for has human eyebrows.
Can't be
Not
that
big
guy.
eyebrows. So he's going to throw off the cops.
He does the finger
What
mustache.
happens isn't much better than that.
It's not. Okay.
Do you
So,
still have those pants?
Yeah. It's a good thing I took that guy's pants. These pig's eyebrows. See, I know what I'm doing.
Thunder, master of disguise.
Trust me. I knew that this was going to work out, guys. All right, so Officer Billy, he runs in from before. Officer Billy, I told you he'd be back. And he's like, his face is off. Like, he's got a shotgun. Thunder's got a bazooka, and they stand there like, are we going to do this? Wait, hold on, I forgot. You can go. We're pulling the pig switcheroo here because my grandfather was part Apache. So yeah, you know, that's like.
So just for clarification, is this the same guy that was hanging off the ledge that you
Billy.
pulled up?
Yeah.
Okay, because I wasn't sure.
I can't be racist.
The old pig switcheroo.
We're bros, right? I knew a guy that was Native American.
My grandpa was a Native American, is what he says.
Sort of. I never really confirmed
He's like
that.
1/8 of an inch Native American.
He just said he was. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyways,
my grandpa was
out of here.
2 parts American, Native American. 2 parts.
Okay.
Either way,
Is the pig Native American?
just
Hey, wait, that guy's wearing pig eyebrows, but those are fucking European pig eyebrows. That's our guy. Get him. Yeah. Okay.
well, they don't.
So-
He's like, take off your clothes.
Uh-huh.
And then they dress the pig up like you're gonna toss the pig in the vault.
Because nobody's gonna look at the pig in people clothes and go, "That's not a person."
Well, okay.
1, it has hooves. 2, there's a giant snoot.
This is a
They're
twofold
like watching
problem
the
here.
body burn. And they're like, is that the guy? And then bacon just flies out and hits him in the face and burns their cheek. You're like, yep, that's definitely a human piece of meat that just hit me.
Crispy. Yeah, man. This guy's belly tastes delicious.
I do not know what even happens here because then the sheriff comes in and he's like, yeah, he's burning right there. And he's like, I don't see anything. At this point, the sheriff's like, God damn it. I don't know whether he just is done with it and he just wants it to be over so he can fucking go home or if he's just like so goddamn embarrassed by his deputy that he's up a pig.
I go
he's
with
like,
2.
just let it
I'm
fucking
like,
burn.
He's like, I don't see anything, Billy. Because what you want me to see is you just dressed up a pig like a man and threw it in fire and think that's going to fucking fool me. I don't see that so that you still have a job, all right?
Yeah, I don't know, because that pig doesn't have any eyebrows, so it can't be real. Definitely not a guy. Definitely not a guy right there. Also, you guys are missing the fact that this is a twofold problem here, because the plan is all right. Strip off those clothes. We're gonna put them on this pig, and then throw the pig in the fire. Everybody will think it's you. Okay, and then what do? Well, you just walk out of here buck naked.
So the cops are like all pointed guns, and then he just like puts on, they called it the streak on a boombox, and just walks out the side door. And they're just like, God damn hippies, concentrate on shooting that Indian.
He's got like get a free checking account like brochures covering up his balls. Don't look, guys. What's that naked man with pig eyebrows doing over there? Don't worry about it. We caught the guy we were looking for. He burned up in a bank fire. The whole thing's over, guys. Let's take it home. and then the movie ends with fucking Thunder and Sheila hitching in the ride in the back of a fucking truck because Jackie makes a good point. After all this, they still fucking lose their goddamn home.
Yes.
They got no place to go.
Yes.
No,
But I do want to talk about the 2 little kids that are running around in the street that are like, Thunder will live forever. And that's exactly what it sounded like. And it was like, this kid could not get his line. And so they were like, we'll just have somebody do a weird kid
And then the
voice
kid
over
just
the top
fucking
of
runs
this.
out in the street and the camera like stays on him for a long time. I'm like, get that kid out of the street. Down.
I'm like, any minute now, the red semi truck is coming down the road.
Did you see
It's
all
gonna
those
lower-
cops? Fucking, they don't have brakes. God damn it. Get your kid out of the road. All right, that's the movie. My question is, do the feds have some questions here, or is this like is this just a county problem?
Well, as long as County doesn't kick it up the food chain, they'll be all right.
I mean, a lot of people died.
Yeah. The bank got burned down. The police station's fucked up. You think that there's
going to... fucking money. No, the feds have to get involved because the fucking money burned up.
And the reporters definitely are going to report this.
Yeah, they're going to hear about it. But and then not to mention like her place. Like, hey, how come that gas station exploded? And they find the guy's lighter. It's arson. I mean, yeah, no, I think the feds are getting involved with this. So he gets to go to prison forever, right?
All of them?
No, Thunder.
No,
And
they're just
the
going to blame
sheriff.
all of this on Thunder, including the gas station, and that he had illegal arms, right?
Well, how much of it happened on the reservation?
None.
What if the
The
burial
gas
ground was
station, I
on the
thought, was-
reservation and most of the destruction and murders were caused there and only property destruction was caused on the town end of things? Then all of a sudden tribal affairs would get their shake at it first.
Yeah, he's not on the res. There's no mention of the res at all, and there's no sign of tribal affairs. There's only 2 Native American people in this movie that the movie, well, 3. Everybody else is like, oh yeah, I'm Native American too. Oh, shut the fuck up, Billy. You are not. But yeah, there's 3. I don't think he's on the res. I think she's just got a gas station on Route 66.
It doesn't matter. He's going to jail if they can catch him.
If they can catch him, right?
If they can catch him.
They'll never find him, because he's slippery.
Well, he did have those red and white marks on his face.
Oh, yeah.
And so now that those are washed off, they won't be
They'll
able to
never
identify
recognize
him.
now. Huh. God, if we could only know what this man looked like as he sticks a paper bag over his face, and breaks into the adventure. adventure. He's got eyeballs cut out of it. On the bottom it says, "I am not Thunder." Oh God, damn it! Well, it can't be that guy. It says he's not Thunder. Doesn't look like him either. It looks like a brown paper bag man. But
no, it would be more like, oh, that paper bag is from the expensive grocery store, so we know it's not from him.
That sucks, Jackie.
That's got to be somebody else because they're racist, right?
Well, yeah, but come on, man. There's no difference in paper bag quality. The poor people and the rich people have the same paper bags. They all suck. You get them wet, you put the chicken in the paper bag. You're not keeping that chicken in the paper bag because as soon as you lift it up, all the chicken's just coming right out of it. It's a paper bag. They all suck.
Well, but if you think about it, they all put their logos on it, though. So that's how they would identify if he was
Who puts
the guy.
Who puts their logos on them?
All of them do.
All
Winco, Safeway.
Put their logos on the paper bags.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
they do.
Okay.
So they would know, like they would be like profiling and being racist pieces of crap like they were throughout this entire movie and be like, well, that's not a Walmart one, so
Walmart,
can't be him.
I can guarantee you, does not have paper bags at all. So I'm not too worried about the rich and the poor paper bags. The only place you can get paper bags anymore is at the fancy grocery stores because they're assholes. And in California. And all the people in California are rich. So I don't think we got to worry about him getting caught. He knows what he's doing, Jackie. He's a master of disguise.
Or maybe he's just ordering them from Amazon.
I think Thunder, he's too good at it for us to even postulate how he gets away with it, because you never know where he might show up or who he is this week. He's like the Saint, but Native American. Okay. So if they catch him, but they're not going to catch him.
They're not going to catch him.
They're not going to catch
Well, I mean, we can find out because there's Thunder 2 and 3.
Good thing there is Thunder 2 and 3. Are we doing all 3, Sam?
I haven't decided.
Okay. All right. Well,
I don't know that I want to run them all 3 concurrently.
I could go.
I mean,
Thunder.
I'm not stopping either of you from picking the second one. I know the second one's on Prime.
Right. Okay. Well, anybody else got any questions?
I do.
Okay.
Did Rambo 2 and Lethal Weapon steal from this movie?
I think the Lethal Weapon thing, I don't see the Rambo 2 thing, though.
There was no bow in Rambo 1. There was a bow in Rambo 2.
Yeah, so Rambo can only use a fucking combat knife? That's the only thing he can have?
Well, no, I'm just saying that it's highly coincidental.
I don't know. I think this movie stole from First Blood, and I think it stole from Billy Jack, and that's the way we should look at it.
Yes, but the Lethal Weapon thing is a little dubious.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Lethal Weapon, if it's 2 or 3 or whatever.
It's 3.
With
The
3?
construction site.
Yeah.
I'll get you.
I've seen the Lethal Weapon movies a few times, and I can only remember one thing about them. When Danny Glover walks around narrating him picking stuff up for himself. That's my boat. This is my fishing cap. Hey, thanks, Danny Glover.
The only thing I know about the Lethal Weapon franchise is Lethal Weapon 5 is the best one.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, Jackie, questions?
No, I asked all mine.
Okay, Sam, anything else?
No.
All right, final recommendations. I'm going to start. Yes, I super liked Thunder. This was dumb as shit and just a great bad movie Sunday. It's not like Hall of Fame or anything, but I wish I'd known about this movie sooner because I had never even heard of it, had no idea it existed. And I think that this is just straight up bad movie Sunday action bullshit. And I liked it. And I think a lot of people that like that sort of thing will like it too. Jackie.
I'm going to give it a don't.
Okay.
I was kind of bored. I had more fun riffing it with you two.
Well, that's how it should be every time.
Than actually, yeah, but I wasn't even mildly entertained. I was just like,
okay.
The racism in the beginning made me uncomfortable, and then throughout, and it was just, I don't know. I want to watch the other two, but it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to go do it right now. It'd be like, well, if I'm forced to, I'll do it.
Okay.
So I'm going to give it a don't.
All right. Sammy.
I'm going to give it a do, but it's sort of in between your high praise do and her low praise don't. That there are points that are boring, and some of the action, the slow motion doesn't make the action better. It makes it worse.
Never makes it better.
Yeah.
And
never makes it better.
So it actually kind of slows the pace of the movie down. So it does drag a little bit. But the only thing that is more fun in 1990 Bronx Warrior is Fred Williamson and what he's wearing. Other than that, it's a dead heat in like how much fun you're going to have watching these movies. So I'm glad that I did this one for the first Mark Gregory, and it is a do for me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your show, kiddies. Next week will be Jackie's pick. You got anything lined up?
Of course not.
Okay. All right.
Thunder 2?
Thunder 2!
Thunder 2! Thunder 2!
Okay. You don't have to. You can.
I think it would be very funny if you did after you said, I'm not going to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
I'm picking it.
You're going to have to force me to choose
You're going to force me to watch those. We're watching the second one next week.
Okay. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Get to the job.